I gave my daughter everything, my money, my time, my life, until I had nothing left to give. When I say everything, I don't mean it lightly. I mean the kind of giving that leaves your hands trembling and your heart empty, yet still hoping it will be enough. I was a mother before I was ever a woman of my own. Every breath I took, every decision I made, it all revolved around her. Her name is Aisha. Even now, saying it fills my chest with a mixture of warmth and pain. She was born on a quiet monsoon night, the rain tapping gently against the windows as if welcoming her into the world. I remember holding her for the first time, so small, so fragile, and promising her that she would never feel the hardships I had known. And I kept that promise, or at least I tried to. Her father left us when she was barely 3. No warning, no explanation, just a suitcase by the door and silence that followed us for years. From that day on, it was just the two of us. I became mother and father, protector and provider. I worked wherever I could, cleaning houses, stitching clothes, cooking for others. My hands were always busy, my back always aching, but my heart was full because it was for her. "Amu, one day I'll take care of you," she used to say, wrapping her tiny arms around my neck. And I believed her. I believed every word. As she grew older, her needs grew too, but so did my willingness to give. New school? I found the money. Extra classes? I worked longer hours. College fees? I sold my jewelry, the last pieces my mother had left me. It's just gold, I told myself. She's my real treasure. Looking back now, I wonder if that was the first piece of myself I gave away without realizing it. But at the time, it felt right. It felt like love. When she got into college in the city, I was the proudest mother alive. I still remember standing outside the campus gates, watching her walk in with her head held high. She didn't look back that day. I told myself it was because she was strong, independent. I didn't realize then it was the beginning of distance. At first, she would call me every night. "Amu, the food here is terrible. Amu, I miss you. Amu, can you send a little extra money this month?" That last line started coming more often. "Just a little more," she would say. "There are expenses you wouldn't understand." And I never questioned her. Why would I? She was my daughter. If she needed something, it was my duty to provide. So I sent more, and more, and more. I began cutting corners in my own life. Meals became smaller. Medicines were delayed. The electricity bill went unpaid more than once. "It's just temporary," I would whisper to myself. She's building her future. But her calls changed over time. They became shorter, colder, less about me, more about what she needed. "Amu, I need a new phone. Everyone here has one. Amu, my friends are going on a trip. I can't be left out. Amu, don't make it a big deal. It's normal." Normal. That word began to echo in my mind like a question I was too afraid to answer. Was it normal? Was it normal that I hadn't bought new clothes for myself in years? Was it normal that I lied to neighbors about why I stayed indoors, because I couldn't afford to go out? Was it normal that every time the phone rang, my heart raced, not with joy, but with fear of what she might ask next? Still, I said nothing. Because love makes you blind in ways you don't even realize. When she graduated, I thought things would change. This is it, I told myself. Now she'll stand on her own feet. She came home after years, walking through the door like a stranger wearing my daughter's face. She hugged me, but it felt different. Lighter, like her arms didn't quite mean it. "You haven't changed, Amu," she said, glancing around the house. But her tone, it wasn't affectionate. It was almost disappointed. I ignored it. Instead, I cooked all her favorite meals. I sat beside her, watching her eat, my heart full again, just like old times. For a moment, I believed everything would go back to how it used to be. I was wrong. Amu, I've been thinking, she said one evening, scrolling through her phone. Yes, Beta? I asked, eager to hear anything she wanted to share. I want to start a business. My eyes lit up. That's wonderful. What kind? A boutique. It's a great opportunity, but I need some investment. Of course she did. And of course, I didn't hesitate. How much? I asked. She named an amount that made my breath catch. It was more than I had ever saved in my entire life. I know it's a lot, she added quickly, but this is my future. Don't you want me to succeed? That question, it cut deeper than anything else, because how could I say no without feeling like I was failing her? I'll arrange it, I said softly. And just like that, I began giving again. I borrowed money. I sold the small piece of land my husband had left behind. I even pawned the last of my belongings, things I had sworn I would never let go. But I let them go. For her. Always for her. Weeks passed, then months. The boutique opened, and she moved back to the city to run it. At first, she sounded excited. It's going. Her calls became even less frequent. Her tone sharper. And whenever I asked about the money, about how things were going, she would brush me off. Why do you worry so much? Trust me. I know what I'm doing. Trust me. I had trusted her with everything. So why did my heart feel so uneasy? One evening, I gathered the courage to ask, Beta, when do you think you'll be able to return some of the money? I have some debts to clear. There was silence on the other end, then a sigh. Amu, seriously? You're asking me this now? I'm not asking for everything, I said quickly. Just a little, so I can manage. You're being selfish, she interrupted. Selfish. The word hit me like a slap. I gave you this opportunity, and instead of supporting me, you're pressuring me? I'm not. I tried to explain, but my voice shook. You don't understand how business works, she continued. If you can't trust your own daughter, then who will? The call ended shortly after, and I sat there staring at the silent phone in my hands. For the first time in my life, I felt something I never thought I would feel toward my own child. Doubt. A quiet, creeping doubt that whispered something I wasn't ready to hear. Had I been giving out of love? Or had I been slowly losing myself? That night, I couldn't sleep, because deep inside, a painful realization had begun to take shape. Maybe, just maybe, my daughter wasn't just taking my help. Maybe she was taking everything, and I didn't know how much more I had left to lose. That night, I didn't sleep. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, listening to the slow ticking of the clock as if it were counting down something I couldn't yet understand. My daughter's words echoed in my mind over and over again. You're being selfish. Selfish. After everything. I turned to my side, clutching the thin blanket around me, as though it could protect me from the truth slowly rising inside my chest. For years, I had silenced every doubt, every uneasy feeling, every question that tried to surface. I had wrapped them in love and buried them deep. But that night, they refused to stay buried. The next morning, I woke up feeling older than I had ever felt before. Not just in my body, but in my heart. It was as if something inside me had cracked quietly during the night. Still, I tried to push it aside. This is just a phase, I whispered to myself. She's stressed, that's all. Because accepting anything else felt impossible. Days passed and I didn't hear from her. That wasn't unusual anymore, but this time, the silence felt different, heavier, like a distance that couldn't be measured in kilometers, but in something far more painful. Finally, after nearly a week, I decided to call her. The phone rang and rang and rang. No answer. I tried again later. Nothing. A third time. Still nothing. A strange knot tightened in my chest. Worry, yes, but also something else. Something I didn't want to name. The next day, I made a decision I hadn't made in years. I would go see her. I told myself it was because I missed her, because I wanted to check on her, make sure she was okay. But deep down, I knew I was searching for answers. The journey to the city felt longer than I remembered. Every mile carried a mixture of hope and fear. I kept imagining her face when she would see me, surprised, maybe even happy. She'll hug me, I thought. She'll say she was just busy. I held on to that image like a lifeline. When I finally reached her boutique, I stopped outside for a moment. It was beautiful, far more beautiful than I had imagined. The signboard gleamed, the windows displayed elegant clothing, and inside, I could see customers moving about. A small smile formed on my lips. She did it, I whispered. My daughter did it. For a moment, pride washed over everything else. I stepped inside. The sound of soft music filled the air. A young girl greeted me politely, asking if I needed help. I shook my head, my eyes scanning the room until they found her.
Aisha.
She stood near the counter, dressed in expensive clothes, her hair styled perfectly, her posture confident. She looked successful, and for a second, I forgot everything else. Aisha, I called softly. She turned. Our eyes met, but instead of joy, instead of warmth, there was something else in her expression. Annoyance. Amu, she said, walking toward me. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Not I missed you. Not why didn't you tell me you were coming? Just that. I came to see you, I said, my voice uncertain. You weren't answering my calls, so I got worried. I've been busy, she replied quickly, glancing around as if afraid someone might be watching. I can see that, I said gently, trying to smile. The boutique is beautiful. Of course it is, she said, almost defensively. I worked hard for this. Her words stung, but I ignored it. I'm proud of you, I said. She didn't respond. Instead, she crossed her arms slightly. You should have told me before coming. I didn't think I needed permission to see my own daughter, I replied softly. Her jaw tightened. Not here, she said under her breath. Come outside. We stepped out of the boutique, standing on the busy street where strangers passed by without a second glance. What is it? She asked impatiently. I just wanted to talk, I said. It's been a long time. I told you I'm busy, she snapped. Unnecessary drama. Was that what I had become? I'm not here to create drama, I said, my voice trembling slightly. I just wanted to see you and maybe talk about. If this is about money again, then please don't start, she interrupted sharply. The words hung between us like a wall. I'm not asking for everything, I said quietly. Just a little help. I'm struggling to manage the loans. That's not my problem, she said. For a moment, I thought I had misheard her. What? I whispered. I didn't force you to give me that money, she continued. You chose to. Each word felt like a stone being placed on my chest. I chose to because you're my daughter, I said. Exactly, she replied. And parents are supposed to support their children. That's normal. Normal. Again, that word. But this time it didn't sound the same. It sounded like justification, like an excuse. I supported you with everything I had, I said slowly. I gave you more than I could afford. I trusted you. And I'm building something with it, she shot back. Why can't you just be happy for me instead of making me feel guilty?
Guilty.
I felt my heart crack a little more. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, I said. I'm just asking for understanding. Well, I don't have time for this, she said, checking her phone. I have customers waiting. She turned slightly, as if ready to walk away. And that's when it happened. Something inside me finally broke. Do you even see me anymore? I asked. My voice wasn't loud, but it stopped her. She turned back slowly. What does that mean? She asked. It means I swallowed hard. Do you see your mother or just someone you can take from? Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Her expression changed, just for a second, but then it hardened again. You're overthinking, she said. I don't have time for emotional lectures. That was it. That was the moment. Years of love, years of sacrifice, years of silent endurance, and all I was to her now was an inconvenience. I felt a strange calm settle over me, the kind of calm that comes when something painful finally becomes clear. I understand, I said quietly. Good, she replied. Now if you're done, I won't ask you for anything again. I continued. She paused. What? I won't call you for money. I won't come here unannounced. I won't depend on you anymore. She stared at me, confused. Okay, she said slowly. That's good, I guess. But she didn't understand. Not yet. I gave you everything because I loved you, I said. But I forgot something important. What? She asked, impatient again. I forgot to love myself too. The words felt unfamiliar, but right. For the first time in years, I heard my own voice, not as a mother, but as a person. I don't regret helping you, I continued, but I regret losing myself in the process.
She didn't respond.
Maybe she didn't know how. Or maybe she simply didn't care. I hope your business grows, I said softly. I truly do, but from today, I'll take care of my own life. I turned to leave. Amu, she called out. I stopped. For a brief moment, my heart hoped, but her next words ended that hope completely. Don't make this a big deal, okay? I closed my eyes, and then I smiled, not because it didn't hurt, but because I finally understood. I won't, I said, and this time, I meant it. I walked away slowly, each step feeling lighter than the last, not because my problems were gone, not because the pain had disappeared, but because I had finally stopped giving away the last pieces of myself. Love should never cost you your dignity. Kindness should never leave you empty. And being a mother should never mean forgetting that you are human too. I lost a lot in loving her, but that day, I found something I thought I had lost forever. Myself.